Hi, I am Anna. I come from www.ntvforex.com. Correction underway. Analysis. http ntvforex.com. News ID FBA 5C97 2024 50:33 AM PAMP NBSP top projection 3490 Met cycles. NBSP looking ahead. NBSP 90-year cycle. A last low 1932. Next low 2022 7-year cycle. A last lows 2008-2016. NBSP next low 2023-20 TDA 917. Market analysis charts courtesy of Q Charts SPX Tran IWM daily charts. Comparing the three charts below, it seems that IWM is better at predicting tops than Tran. NBSP during the last stretch of the rally since June, Tran essentially duplicated the performance of SPX, even making a new all-time high just before correcting. NBSP IWM, by contrast, not only remained a laggard, but even gave us a 3-week warning that a top was imminent. NBSP it is noteworthy that IWM made its all-time high in 826A18, thereby registering long-term relative weakness versus SPX. NBSP if this continues over the weeks ahead, we may have to conclude that it is warning us, not only of an intermediate top, but of a longer-term one as well. NBSP on the other hand, the strength in Tran cannot be dismissed and could be telling us that no significant correction is likely in the near future. NBSP when it strongly agrees with IWM, it will be time to exercise caution about the possibility of a more important reversal. SPX daily chart. SPX made its high at the top of the small blue channel discussed last weekend, on the second day of a 238-point decline, found support on the lower trend line of the large blue channel. NBSP this produced a fast and furious rally of 129 points which weakened into Friday's close. NBSP there is no evidence at this time NBSP pointing to anything more than a much-needed correction with limited impact on the market trend. A break and continued decline outside of the blue channel would, however, suggest that a longer and deeper correction has started. NBSP if it has, I have drawn potential new trend lines which could support prices. NBSP last week's decline can be attributed to a number of things: overbought market which had not had a significant correction or even consolidation in the last 600 points, a structural pattern completion, entering the weakest period of the year, etc. Take your pick and feel free to add reasons that suit you better. NBSP if September weakness has anything to do with it, we may consider that we have started a correction which will last several weeks and take SPX to lower levels, perhaps even into mid-October before we are ready to challenge the highs one more time. We can always rely on the logic of Fibonacci retracements to help us gauge the depth of a correction, so, in this case, a 0.382 retracement can take us to 3,147 and a 50% pullback to 3,013. NBSP Fibonacci and PAMP projections normally support each other, but there has not been enough top congestion from which to derive a valid count. NBSP perhaps a little later. Two oscillators, normally the first to do so, have given a daily sell signal. NBSP CCI stopped just short of doing it. NBSP so, we will need to see some additional weakness to get a full confirmation. For now, they have to be considered neutral with a positive bias. Let's go to the hourly chart to analyze the short-term market position. SPX hourly chart. The analysis of the hourly chart is pretty straightforward. NBSP the index found resistance at the top of two converging channel lines on Wednesday, reversed with a gap on Thursday breaking out of the first channel and below THE50HR MA, found temporary support on the lower trend line of the second channel and, after a brief consolidation, continued the decline down to the primary blue channel line, finding some better support which triggered a good rally to the second channel line followed by a retracement into the close. NBSP the 200HR MA was also a factor in providing a low and a reversal. NBSP where does that leave us? NBSP there are two immediate choices: one retesting and holding the blue channel line, which could lead to a retesting of the high, or even a new high. Or two breaking the blue channel line and continuing the decline. NBSP there has been a sufficient rally from the initial low so that a drop back to the bottom of the blue channel should again find at least temporary support, and then we would have to gauge the strength of another rally from that level. Keeping it simple, a move back above the blue 50 MA would be a sign of strength. NBSP remaining below it will be a sign of weakness. NBSP currently, the hourly indicators are negative but turning neutral. UUP dollar ETF dollar USD chart not available from this data provider. UUP may have made a low in conjunction with its 3MO cycle and has moved outside of its downtrend line. NBSP it now needs to exceed its former short-term high of 25.26 to get back into a short-term uptrend. NBSP getting above 25.50 will be a greater challenge but necessary, at a minimum, if it wants to get back into an intermediate uptrend. GDX gold miners GDX may be challenged to hold its correction low this week but must do so in order to re-establish a short-term uptrend. NBSP there is good support at 27.50 if it continues to correct. NBSP if it holds, it may soon be able to challenge the recent high. POS Pan American Silver Corp. It is difficult to find something different to say about POS. NBSP technically, it moves almost identically to GDX and their chart patterns, as you can see are similar. NBSP both have had big moves since March, but have only made shallow corrections, which is a sign of strength, suggesting that a resumption of the uptrend is not far away if they continue to hold as well as they have. NBSP BNO US Brent Oil Fund after crawling below 12.00 for several weeks without touching it as it tried to hold above its 50 DMA, BNO has finally broken below. NBSP that MA is an important marker for this index, and breaking it is not a good sign suggesting that a new correction could be starting. Summary: last week SPX experienced a sharp decline which many analysts considered overdue, followed by a sharp retracement and another pullback into Friday's close. NBSP it has been a while since the index has experienced this kind of volatility. NBSP it is too soon to know how much more of a downtrend is underway, but the index stopped on the bottom line of the bullish channel it established since the March low and must hold it for this correction to be short-lived. Subscribe our channel to receive the news as soon as possible. Thank you for watching. If you want to read real-time news, text messages to MT5 Expert Advisors page at https://m.me/mt5.expert.advisors.